They say public transportation is for everyone, but one night, I found a bus that wasn't meant for the living. And once you're on, getting off isn't as easy as you'd think. It was a rainy Thursday night. I missed my usual bus after working late and found myself at a nearly empty stop on the edge of town. Most buses had stopped running, but at 11:57 p.m., a strange one pulled up. It didn't match the usual city bus's no route number, no destination sign, just a dull gray body and dim lights that flickered like dying candles. The doors opened with a hiss. I hesitated but stepped inside. There were other passengers, but none of them moved. They sat rigid, staring straight ahead. Their clothes were outdated, like they'd stepped out of different decades. One woman wore a dress from the 1950s. A man had a briefcase covered in dust. A teenage boy held a cracked Walkman. The driver never turned to look at me, just said, in a low voice, "Fare's been paid." I didn't question it. I walked to the middle of the bus and sat down. That was my first mistake. The city outside blurred as we moved, not sped, but drifted. Street signs twisted into symbols I couldn't read. Buildings flickered like mirages, too tall, too thin. The windows fogged up, but the fog was inside, not out. I tried to ask the man beside me where we were headed, but when he turned to look at me, his eyes were sewn shut. And he smiled anyway. "Almost there," he whispered. The bus made no turns, no stops, just glided into a dark stretch of road where even the moonlight refused to follow. Then the driver said something that made my blood run cold. "Last stop for the recently deceased." I stood up, panicked. "Wait, I'm not dead." The bus went silent. Every head turned toward me. Their mouths opened, but their jaws didn't move like normal. They unhinged. From every throat, the same dry rasp. "You got on. You're one of us now." I ran to the door, but it wouldn't open. The windows pulsed, like flesh. I grabbed the emergency exit, pulled with all my strength. Nothing. Then, I remembered something I heard once in a ghost story. If you don't belong in a realm, make them remember what it's like to feel. I bit down on my hand. Hard. The pain was sharp and real. Blood spilled across the bus floor. The passengers recoiled. Their eyes opened hollow, gaping voids, and they began to scream. The bus groaned and shuddered. I blacked out. I woke up in the street, alone. It was morning. The sky was clear, but my hand was still bleeding. And my wallet had a transfer ticket inside, stamped with the words, "Route 13 next time, no return." I never take the bus anymore. But sometimes, when I pass by that stop at 11:57 p.m., I see the gray bus waiting there. Doors open, and I wonder who paid my fare the first time. And who will pay it next? Most people are afraid of what's behind the mirror. But I learned the real terror is when your reflection stops copying you and starts acting on its own. I was brushing my teeth late one night, around 2 a.m. My girlfriend was asleep, the apartment silent, except for the faint hum of the refrigerator. The mirror above the sink was fogged from a hot shower earlier, so I wiped it with my hand. And for a second, just a second, I thought I saw my reflection smile before I did. I paused, blinked, moved my hand. The reflection matched me perfectly. Maybe I was just tired, but something didn't feel right. Over the next few nights, things got worse. It started subtly. I'd yawn and the reflection would delay a beat before mimicking me. Or sometimes, it would be smiling faintly when I wasn't. Once, I leaned close to inspect a pimple, and I swear the reflection's eyes didn't follow mine. They stared straight ahead, fixed, focused, watching me. I called my girlfriend into the bathroom and tried to show her. But the moment she stepped in, everything looked normal again. She told me to get more sleep, maybe stop watching horror videos before bed. But that night I covered the mirror with a towel. I didn't want to see it anymore. At 3:17 a.m., I heard a thud from the bathroom. The towel had fallen. Or maybe been pulled down. I stood at the doorway, staring into the mirror. Our reflection was already standing waiting. Even though I was still sitting in bed, it raised a finger to its lips. Shh. I couldn't move, couldn't stream. It tilted its head, smiled wider, then turned and walked away from the mirror's frame. I was left staring at my own terrified reflection, now returned, but the space behind it was empty. I avoided the mirror after that. Started covering all the reflective surfaces in my house TV, windows, anything that might show a hint of myself. But the reflection came back. Not through mirrors anymore. I began to catch glimpses of myself in dark windows, blackened screens. But it wasn't me. It wore my face like a costume. One night, I woke up to the sound of breathing not many inches from my face. There, in the full-body mirror across the room, I saw my reflection crouched at the foot of my bed, smiling, waiting. "You've been asleep in this world too long," it said, mouth moving silently but perfectly in sync with the voice in my head. "Let me take your place. You can come to mine." I ran, smashed the mirror with a hammer. It didn't matter. I saw myself again in the bathroom mirror the next morning. Except now, I was on the other side, looking out, helpless. My reflection was brushing its teeth in my body. It winked, then turned out the lights. Now I'm stuck, watching, waiting for another crack in the glass, so I can escape, or maybe just switch with someone else. Like you're looking into a screen right now? Are you sure that reflection is still yours?